I was just thinking I should move before the train comes. I was just at the point where the solar wasn't really charging anymore. I'm like, yeah, I should probably move, you know, because if the guys see me from the train, they're gonna call it in. They get really kind of squinky about that. So I'm just getting the videos ready to upload that I just finished editing for today, and I was just getting ready to upload it and I hear the train whistle. I'm like, oh, now's the time to go. Grab the bike, quick, move. Alright, this will be on tomorrow's video. Happy trails, train. Woo-woo. I'm just laying on the bed watching some YouTube and I see the ears hop by. That post is maybe 10-15 yards away. So the jackrabbit comes just trotting along, and then I made a little noise and it stopped, and it wasn't sure where I was because I wasn't moving. It actually started running towards me and then it figured out where I was and it goes the other way. I'm just happy along. I'm just a bunny bouncing along, you know. I swear. This was the thing your parents tried to teach you as a kid. If you sit still and don't make any noise, all kinds of stuff just comes walking up to you because it doesn't know where you are. And then you freak out and you're so excited you scare the rabbit and it runs away. You never see it again. It only took me 50 years to figure that out. Yeah, pretty cool. Just sit still. Hope it's not something that wants to eat you. Alright, back to YouTube.
Good morning, world. Figured I better get that shot before I miss it. Wow. Like they say, you gotta have some clouds to have a pretty sunrise. Alright, we'll use the good camera now. Or the other camera. This is the... whatever. This is the main camera. Not the selfie camera on the phone. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, yeah, so it's about 5:30 in the morning on June 16th, 2022. That's a Thursday. And we've already started to miss the colors. There were several very loud trains that went by during the night. I don't think I'll camp this close to the tracks anymore. It was pretty cool the first couple times. After that, it's like, oh, seriously? I've got to figure out, when I leap out of bed, how to not drop this into the sticks. That wasn't so bad. I've had times it's just completely covered. This flannel, or whatever it is meant to keep you warm. Works pretty good. But it grabs every little bit. Of course, if I was in a tent, that wouldn't happen, I suppose. What would be the fun in that? Yeah, alright. Yeah, colors are already getting muted. Yeah, if I would have slept in, I would have missed it. Probably started waking up at 4, and I had no idea what time it was. Then I started seeing the bright star coming up. And this time of year, this year, we've got something like 5 planets before sunrise, all kind of lumped together. And I think at this time, the brightest one ends up being Jupiter. Although Venus was normally the bright star in the morning. So I wake up and I see that. I'm like, Oh, it's about 4 o'clock in the morning. Science. Yeah. Now, literally a few minutes later, now we get the gold color. Kind of cool. Pretty sunrise. Might be rough on solar. At least I got some time to charge last night. That's one of the things is I'm trying to... What's like I've got new batteries now and another new solar panel, so things don't match what they did a month and a half ago kind of thing. So I'm finding if I can stop by 4 o'clock or so, that gives me enough time to get a pretty good charge, so that I can ride in the morning. The other option is to sit still in the morning. Now, it depends on where you're camping and if you can, afford to sit still or not, or if you should leave before the neighbors see you. Guess we'll have to decide how much power we need. Oh, I gotta look that up too. The first stop today is a Walmart, and I can't remember how far away it is. Let's see how much I've got now. Yeah, 47 volts, that's not bad. And yeah, 535 now. I don't want to get up. Anyway, yeah, I just looked. The Walmart is about an hour's ride away. Don't think there's much for hills, hopefully. This is something I was noticing earlier and kind of part of my plan. The closer I stayed to the freeway, the less hills there are. But to get around, well, I kind of botched this a little bit, but I think it's working out okay. But what I was looking at yesterday afternoon when I started cutting in through the backcountry here, I was going to just bypass Redding, because I didn't see, there's always a way, but what I was looking at is I didn't want to go into Redding and then have to go through Redding with all the traffic. And then it looked like all of the bike path or all of the bike routing for the GPS was taking me around Redding. And especially if you look, beyond, like if you go Red Bluff, Redding, and then beyond that, the routes were going out instead of through. All right. So I was trying to figure that out, and from when I stopped at the Wendy's, there wasn't an easy way around that the GPS could figure out, which was kind of weird. So then I got to here and I set up camp, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, it looked like, there's going to be a few days kind of on the way around. It's like 150 miles or something like that. And if I would have gone straight, it would have been like 100 miles, so 2 days versus 3 days, something like that. But I didn't want to be stuck right on I-5 if I could help it. And then I was like, oh wait, I need to go get more food at the Walmart before I head out into the backcountry. And I don't know if I really just completely forgot that, because I probably could have bought something at the Red Bluff, or at Red Bluff, and just completely spaced that. I had a couple of days worth of food, but wanted to stock up again. Anyway, so now we're going to kind of backtrack, but we're still going north, so we're kind of in the right direction. Plus, we got to see some cool country out here. So we'll go get the stock up of supplies at the Walmart, and then I can kind of angle out. And there's some campsites that I can hit. I'm not sure if they have showers, but at least there's, they're by a lake or something like that, so I'll probably get numb, but we can probably get wet and clean up a little bit. So, yeah, anyway. Then we'll work our way north. Trying to think. One option was to go up Highway 97, and that loop around is going to put us pretty close to where Weed is, where 97 starts. So that'll be okay, because this will be an area that I've never really looked at before. I've always just either stayed right on the coast, or on the Redwood Highway, or I've gone up I-5. I've never kind of gone in between the two. So apparently there's some really pretty lakes and stuff here. So most of the times I've driven through here, I was like, okay, I'm going from San Diego up to Wenatchee to see my dad, or vice versa. And it's just like, okay, try to make it in a really, really long 1 day, 28-hour drive, or you split it in half and you got a couple 14-hour drives, and you're not really looking to go exploring, you're just trying to get there. The one exception was when I came through on the motorcycle the year after the Alaska trip. Then I kind of explored the redwoods a little bit. And on this trip I decided, well, I don't really want to get stuck in the redwoods. Something that took me a while to realize is, with all the trees, you get almost no sun at all in there. It'd be very dark, which is terrible for a solar powered bike. So yeah. And I really figured that out when I was up at Big Sur, because there's some redwoods there. And it's like, yeah, those things are so high, they block out the sun. You'd be like... And I kind of, after I thought about it, I was like, yeah, when I was on the motorcycle, it was, middle of the day and it was dark in there. It's like you're going through a tunnel between the trees. It was really cool, but it wouldn't have been good for a solar bike. So, just random things. Anyway, so that's that. So it's about an hour's ride. It's about 5:45 now. Time I break camp. The sun will be up a little bit. We'll start getting a little bit more sun, and I'll try really hard to be very conservative with the bike today. And that's something I'm kind of playing with. Like, I've got 5 power levels on the controller. I never use 4. I virtually never use. 4 and 5 is if I get dogs chasing me, kind of thing, because you just really blow through the batteries. But if I go level 2, you can get about 8 or 10 miles an hour, and it doesn't use as much power. Level 3, if I have sun, I can go faster and use almost the same power as level 2. So it's like you're going faster, but you're also getting more wind drag. So you kind of balance it out. Which one do you think, is going to be more important? If you're just really trying to conserve, you go level 2 and you go a little slower, but you almost use as much power and go faster in level 3. So it's kind of a little bit imprecise trying to figure it out on the fly. But I figured if you're going faster, you do have more aerodynamic drag, so that might slow you down. I mean, that'll use more power. So yeah. Anyway, a little bit art, I guess, to it. Anywho, I think we'll do some breakfast. That sweet rolls I bought at the dollar store, I've got a couple of those left, so that'll be good for breakfast, and then we'll hit the road. Cool. Alright, 5:57, sunrise. Alright, about 7:20, ready to roll. Just did a last look. Usually I try to move the bike a few feet, make sure I'm not dragging before I jump on and go, so rolled out of there, check all the wires and everything. Looks like it's all good to go, so I'll push it up to the road and then we're going that way. So I was coasting down a hill. I look over and this dog is running next to me on the other side of the fence. I look down at the GPS. I was doing about 18, 19 miles an hour, which is faster than I usually ride, and the dog was ahead of me. By the end of the fence, he was looking tired, but he was definitely keeping up. Yeah. On the level, I don't know if I could outrun him. Just
just one of those things. Alright, it's about 9:30 in the morning. We're stocking up. We're at the Walmart. Oops, can't see the sign for here. At a Walmart. So between camp this morning and here, I managed to knock the batteries offline. Wasn't even going up a very big hill. But I have to remember is when I see 47, that's not even a full charge. 48 would be minimum full charge, and it should be up in the 50s. So I'm just zipping along, all of a sudden, oh, no power. So I got to stop twice and walk it up a hill. It wasn't a very big hill either, but yeah. Anyway, so that'd be that. Back up to about 45 now. The first 10 miles says no hill. I think I can do that. I'm just like, okay, if I can sit still for a while, you know, in addition to what I've been doing, shopping. Actually went in the store twice because I forgot something. So yeah, 45, almost 46 now. There we go, 46. So I think I'll wait a little bit longer, just kind of chill out. I don't know that I can make it today because it's about 65 miles to the campsite and we're going to climb to about 3,000 feet. So I don't think I can do that in one day, especially without full charge right now. So it's also going to get cloudier in the afternoon, so that's not going to work. Okay, the business is Eagle Ironworks. Check out their mascots. Those are huge. That's pretty cool. Okay, California, recent burn, last couple years, I'm not sure. And then in the distance, I'm going to say Mount Shasta. I've been seeing that off and on all day. I think I saw it yesterday even, but I never had a clear shot of it, and I just realized I finally did. So slam on the brakes halfway up the hill, get the shot, catch my breath, and then continue up and over the top. Yeah. Okay, there is a lake within about 10 miles, and then another 40 miles to the campsite. Plus or minus a few, I forget exactly. Easily make the lake. I don't think we'll make the campsite, but I might go soak my head for a while or something, assuming I can get to the lake. Okay, this is the town of Shasta. There's a historic park there. Might actually stop for a while. On the underside, I really like the open air architecture. Maybe I'll build my next house this way. Skylight? Hell, we don't need no skylights. From a showpiece to ruins. Although the brick buildings survived the fire of 1878, they could not withstand the ravages of time. Mines and changes in transportation, decline of the town. 1930s, the once proud brick buildings were simply shells of their former self. The tin roofs were removed from the buildings to help with the war effort. Wooden porches, awnings, and stairways collapsed as a result of neglect, vandalism, and repeated snowstorms. Brick buildings, including the Charter Oak Hotel, were used for construction materials in Reading. 1872, the railroad arrived in Redding, making it the new commercial center for Northern California. Well, that's pretty cool. I'm going to say that's a safe on wheels. This is probably heavy enough that nobody's looted it yet. Walk around behind, we're not going to. Anyway, just another little ghost town that people still live in once in a while. And I've actually got more sun than I expected today. Stopped at the AM PM at the bottom of the hill and sat still for a while. And let the battery charge up. It was up to basically 50, which is pretty good. Not completely full, but not bad. All right, put the camera down so we don't die. Okay, we are not yet at the top, but we're not at the bottom either. It's a decent little climb here to the Whiskeytown National Recreation Area. What's in the name? I feel this is going to be a letdown. Anyway, still got to go up for a little ways, but not very much. I think we're within half a mile of the top, maybe less. Pretty good climb. There's been some logging trucks coming up that were passing me, but not flying by. They might have slowed down to be polite, but I don't think they had much left either. Yeah. Bike is starting to get some squeaks. I think the wheels are wearing out. Tires are definitely wearing out on the trailer. Overall, it's performed better than I could ever have imagined. Yeah, I've seen references to a fire that came through here. Car fire, I think, C-A-R-R. Usually they name a wildfire after where it first started, I think. I'm not sure what that means exactly, but a lot of this has been burned, and then a lot of little green stuff. Yeah, if you're gonna live in canyons, it's just a matter of time before it burns. You sure can't fight a fire in a place like this. I think Mount Shasta is around the corner this way. It's nice up here though. I do not understand throwing away tires just randomly like that. I mean, seriously. I know you got to pay to get rid of them, but people. Well, the view from the top looks nice. That looks very inviting. I think we'll find a place to splash. There's It's always funny when people look at the bike. Oh, how does that work? I'm like, I'm from Texas, and they're like, what? It never gets old. Crater Lake, want to try to get to that. We're here. I've heard that's pretty cool. Car. There was a fire named after that guy. Mr. Kennedy? Alright, next we gotta figure out a way to get down without losing skin. There must be a way. I actually considered camping at the lake there. Cheapest site was $33. I just spent $33 at Walmart. Well, maybe not. So the little camp store where you register to camp, I was asking, how far does the park go? They're like, well, they weren't sure exactly. I'm like, well, okay, I'm usually camping in the ditch. I wanted to make sure not to camp on federal property. That was hilarious. There was a sign back at the visitor center at the other end of the park. Apparently they had to cut down over 11,000 trees. Dangers, fire burns. So some of them got hauled out, but there's a lot laying on the ground still, so yeah, that's kind of sad. It'll open it up for the next batch to grow though. Makes you wonder where those water pipes are going. Let's take your lake and put it somewhere else. Go. Okay, I think we got some climbing to do, so I got to get out of the park here. About 3 o'clock. I got decent voltage, but we're losing sun. Actually, it's a little bit blue up there again. So we'll get as far as we can, and then we'll pull off safely and hunker down. It's about 4:45. I'm at the bottom of the hill, and with the clouds, I'm just almost 48 volts. It's enough to ride, but as soon as I hit the hill, I'm going to run out of power. So I think I've got 2,000 foot climb in the next 2 or 3 miles. So it's going to be a pretty good pull, and I'd have a completely dead battery at the top if I make it to the top. Unfortunately, within about 10 miles of here, there's a campsite, but I can't get to it without getting up the hill. So I was looking around, and I see this little turnoff. It's private property, but the gate's open, so I'm like, all right, I'm going to just sit here for a while and see if anybody comes in or out or whatever. But over there is closer to the road, but this way here I'm sheltered from the noise from the road. And yeah. I was looking at Whiskeytown. There's a campsite, and so I went and talked to the little store, and they're like, you know, the cheapest tent camping is like $34 a night. I'm like, oh, I can't do that today. So that was tempting, because I'm like, well, I could sit there and let the battery charge up, right? So the next step after here It's about 10 miles to the next campsite. I don't know if I would stop there now or keep going tomorrow. The one I was going to go to isn't really that far away, but it almost doesn't make sense to stop there because it's too close now, you know. From here it's about 130 miles to Eureka. Like on the coast there's Eureka, E-U-R-E-K-A or something like that. And on I-5 there's Eureka, Y-R-E-K-A, similar sounding but different spelling. So I'm going to be going up Highway 3, and let's see, so I'm at the lake for Whiskeytown, or I'm east of the lake now, or west of the lake I should say, past the lake, and kind of work my way up the canyon, and then I'll turn north on Highway 3. I'm not sure if I'm going to have cell phone coverage in the next day or two or not, so I'll edit this video and then post it when I can, and it'll get there eventually. So for now, I'm just going to sit put. It's going to be dark in about 3 hours, so I'll get the video edited and eat some snacks and kind of chill out for a while and not set up camp until it gets almost dark. And I figure this little spot right here is protected because the rocks are here and the gate's on the other side, so somebody at least won't run into me. And I'm not really visible from the road, so unless somebody comes down this road. And the gate's open and there's a pile of padlocks there, and it looks like somebody cut them, so I'm not sure if you know what's going on with that. It's like, this is kind of funny. So it's like, does a lot of people have access to this, or you know, when you got that many padlocks and there's chunks of cut locks all over here, and a couple of them are unlocked, so yeah, I don't know. If you put 10 padlocks on and 10 people have keys, I guess. A couple of them are cut, and so I don't know if somebody's inside or outside right now. Today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. Yeah, I don't know. But if I'm out of here by morning, same diff. I'm low impact. I can roll pretty short notice, and at least now, if I sit still between now and sunset, I should have enough power to get up the hill if I need to, and then I'd be dead again. So it's just better if I can hold on to that power for now instead of running out of battery halfway up the hill just before sunset. If worst case, if it's really steep, I'll just walk the bike up and save some power. That works pretty good. So yeah. All right, that's life on the road. Getting comfortable on my favorite rock here. Anyway, as always, thanks for joining in the adventure, and those of you that are chipping in to support to help keep the wheels rolling, thank you very much. I was able to stock up on Cliff Bars and trail mix today, so that was good. Yeah, it's not a super hot day, but it was a good climb coming up to here, so I did get to cool my feet in the lake at least. I think I was supposed to pay a fee. It's like I wasn't planning on stopping in Whiskeytown Park. I was just going to cruise through, and then I realized, oh, that lake sure looked nice. So I didn't pay a fee when I came in, and I was like, well, okay, I'm not going to go actually swimming. So I took my shoes off and walked around and washed my legs from my knees down, and washed my face a little bit. That felt pretty good. So half a bath. So yeah, after riding through the desert, seeing that much water, it looked pretty good. Nice to cool your feet, that's for sure. Anyway, so that's it for now. I'm going to go ahead and get this video edited. It might be a day or two before I get it uploaded because there's no cell phone coverage up here. Story of my life. I'm often thinking, what would it be like if I could take like a satellite internet service like a Starlink on the bicycle? I can't imagine that would be a good idea. It takes 100 watts to run the Starlink, and it's only 200 watts of solar on the whole bike. So I could sit still and run internet or use up all my batteries. But it would be nice to have internet when you want it, so probably not practical though. Alright, I'm going to stop talking before the next logging truck goes by. Alright, as always, thanks for the support and watching the videos, and stay tuned for the next adventure. Bye.